Hey everyone, so I am here with this Indian Express newspaper, and today's date is 24th February 2026. Okay, so let's begin today's session. This is the front page where the Raja Ji burst in, Lutyens out. President Draupadi Murmu with Vice President during a ceremony to unveil the bust of first and only Indian Governor General of Independent. C. Rajagopalachari at Rashtrapati Bhavan on Monday. Okay, so this is the news where President visited and on what occasion. Okay, next step prosecution and levy on of penalty. Income tax brings rupees 14,601 crore. Undisclosed offshore investment to tax. The Indian Express Panama Paradise and Pandora's Papers investigation into offshore tax haven. NCRT's new class 8 book list corruption in judiciary massive backlog as challenge. Drama in Patna, Andhra cops arrived to arrest IG, denial transit remand. Bihar meat ban near schools to prevent violent tendencies in children, DYCM. IDFC First Bank scam prop Zoom. It's on 31 transactions, 170 accounts. Moving from this page, okay. Moving from city page. What's about the Election Commission of India? Nothing. It's just a advertisement. This city page is not too much relevant. That's why I am skipping it. Moving from politics to nation page. Okay. So, Tejas fleet undergoes extensive checks after ground accident. Aims to deny terrorists their supporters access to fund weapons. India's first counter terror policy, Prahar unveiled. Seven pillars of Prahar. This is the seven pillars, or it's a its first counter terror policy, okay, and which name under the category of Prahar. Job get rupees 5,000 a month for 4 year of work a day. Weight of a government teacher. What lies behind viral video of Himachal recruitment test? TMC strategies. Mamta's former lieutenant who also powered BJP's rise in Bengal. Jammu Kashmir encounter ends 2 year pursuit of 7 JEM infiltrators from Pakistan, said by officers. Basawarajur, Basawaraju to Hidma, Sonu to Devaju, top Maoist killed or surrendered since last year. Demolition drive in Rajkot. Be careful 100 times when you speak in court. CGI pulls up lawyer for complaining. Mark can be reassessed for theory paper, not practical. Student protest at Lucknow University claim Namaz access blocked. Okay, so these all are the important news. And after that, we are moving to the editorial section and then the economy section. Mainly, we are going to cover only 2 pages. All the news and all the headlines, whichever I read, and these all are just normal local knowledge, okay, that I'm trying to provide you. So, this is the editorial page and the worldly wise, where if you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Nelson Mandela. Okay, so inside it, there are a lot of meanings. Okay, so now it is the normal thought of Nelson Mandela. Moving from this to editorial page. Okay, so moving to the editorial section, where new federal compact must be based on principle of non-domination. So we are passing through our Dakshinayan phase, okay? So inside it, the new federal compact, the author is trying to give the name of the author is Deskal by Yogendra Yadav. So the conversation of a new federal compact could begin with frank discussion on balance of power across the Hindi and non-Hindi states. Okay, so inside it, there are a lot of phases, okay, in the history of our republic. Be it ecological, living revitalization of wavering, alternative education, efficient health policy, smart IT cluster, innovative business, many of fascinating design ideas, models, and experiment relevant to our collective future are emerging. About what? It's mainly about the important ideas and the weaving of the alternatives of education, where it's mainly efficiently inside it, the Tamil Nadu, the next para, which tells about the ideas of the Tamil Nadu, they must be thanked to restarting a badly needed conversation of the Indian federalism. Following the precedent of Raja Manar Committee, which made a case for state autonomy in the era when no one spoke about it, the Tamil Nadu government last year appointed a high level committee on Union State Relation, chaired by Chief Retired Korean Joseph, the three-member committee with retired IAS officer K. Ashok Vardhan Sethi and Professor M. Naganathan so has just submitted report that deserves to be read and debated. Okay, so inside it there are discussions which forward with a set of concrete proposals on improving the constitutional design of federalism. So the report is plea for the fresh federal compact of or a structural reset of Indian federalism. Okay, the mainly the original design of the center state relationship in our constitutional lean heavily towards centralization due to the anxieties of the founding moment of our republic. The moment passed by centralization become an inherited reflex rather than a consciously renewed constitutional choice. The rise of regional parties and coalition government from 90s check the regression. Okay, so inside it, they sadly about the new political consensus was not encoded in the constitution. The last decade has seen a complete reversal, a consistent and troubling pattern of federal imbalance across constitutional design, which institutional practice and sectoral governments. What's federal erosion now threatened to become the ideology package in template of one nation, one something. Okay, so inside the report, which tells about the federalization and the trust its state where respect subsidiarity, empower local government, and not about the weak sovereignty. So it mainly depends on the democracy and unity in such a system which sustain not by commanding but by consent, by enforce uniformity, by negotiations and accommodation. So the understanding of union of state should be starting from the point of future conversation on the center state relationship. So the report offers concrete proposal of for a reset in multiple arenas, starting with as much needed constitutional reset, doing away with draconian power, okay, which amend much of constitutional without consulting the states. So the exceptions are able to propose to restore subjects like education back to domain of state and health and agriculture. So the political reset include a constitutional code to check the arbitraries. Just a sec. Hello. So the another para which tells about the unexceptions and the proposal to restore subjects like education to back the domain of the state and check the center's encroachment on state subject like health and agriculture. The proposal for political reset include constitutional code to check the arbitraries and partisan it's a partnership to the government which elimination of loopholes in the existing anti-defection provision and transferring the responsibility of assembly election to state election commissions. Okay, so which lets the medicine be worse than the disease. Proposal for reset of political representations which mainly deal about the reframe of permanent freeze on the ground of balance of power and it reworking with the GST design, which finally proposed the cultural reset to clear misconception that national unity requires linguistic uniformity, a point that needs reinforcing. Okay, so inside it, the consideration must go beyond the constitutional policies, which pragmatic means the practical logic and the ethical reasoning rather than fixed and universal moral imperative is very core of Indian philosophies tradition. The acknowledgement of diversity in the basis is about the basis of practice desachar, which frank discussion of Hindi and non-Hindi state. Okay, so the principle of political, cultural, and economic non-domination is the foundation of an enduring and just republic. So this is the whole data, okay, of Hindi and non-Hindi states. About the nation, Congress leaders accepted partisan as only way forward. New NCRT book. Leave Iran. Live in relationships of interfaith couples, not an offense under UP anti-conversion law. Allahabad High Court. Let's end today's session. Okay, so let's end it. Thank you.